This week's drill is going to be the FVTAC Reload drill. These are standard drills that you're going to be able to find online. They're standard drills you'll find in the military, as well as advanced drills for the police department and other law enforcement agencies. So in this case, you'll see I have an overt holster. This can be done with an overt holster, with an inside the waistband, with a concealed holster. The options are up to you. The issue is this isn't one that you can necessarily do at any standard range. You can see I have the reload magazines on my side here. You can do this at the range with a little bit of modification. You won't be able to draw from holster. You'll have to do from the low ready. And then as far as the reloads, they won't allow you to reload from your belt at most ranges, but you can take your magazines and place your magazines on the table in front of you so that you can still get your 3 shots, take the magazine out, work on, and you still get some of that muscle memory down at a standard range. But again, here at OVR, you can do whatever you want in that respect, and that you can draw from holster. You can go ahead and reload from the belt, and you really can work on definitive muscle memory that should the need arise, your body will remember it, and you'll be ready for any event. So like most drills, there's a lot of modifications you can do with this. In this instance, we're going to use a standard target. We're going to do 3 shots center mass. That target will drop. A second target will appear behind it, 3 shots. And again, that target will drop. We'll reload again, 3 shots on that next target. This could be modified to have a single target that you're shooting each time. Or in my case, like I said, I like to have the targets pop up and down to represent 3 separate targets. But you can do Mozambique style, where you're doing 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Again, use your imagination. Do what works for you that's going to be good for you. And make sure you mix it up a little bit, because if you're stuck doing the exact same drill that you're doing 3 straight shots, that's what your body's going to remember. That's what your body's going to want to do in a time of stress. So make sure you do mix it up so your body gets the muscle memory down for doing the reload, but not necessarily that muscle memory of taking the shot and then lowering your weapon or things like that. So in this instance, again, we're going to make sure that we keep the weapon on target at least a few seconds after the targets have gone down, and then from there we can go ahead and holster our weapon. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this drill. I'm going to go ahead and hit the button. We're going to begin. I'm not going to be moving at all on this drill. I'm going to be stationary in the middle of the room, and from there we're going to take those shots. So that last series that I shot, if you watch, it went relatively smooth. I felt comfortable doing it. There was no real difficulty drawing the weapon. I stayed down range for the reload, but I only did it in about 8 seconds. And so by classifications of what I was saying earlier, that qualifies me as an intermediate level shooter. Perfectly fine with that. That just means I have to work harder. So it means I need to run through this drill multiple times to get that muscle memory down even better, get that speed, get that comfort down even better. Now, as with pretty much any drill we're going to show you, or that we've already shown you, there's options. And so we've already talked about ways to modify it on the shooting technique itself, but you can modify it to be a pistol or a rifle. In this case, we're going to switch to a rifle. We're going to show it to you. Much slower on the reload, a very different technique on the reload. And so we'll kind of run you through that a little bit and give you an idea what that looks like. But again, you'll be able to see the overall plan of this. You'll notice I kept my eyes down range as much as I could. With the pistol, you can keep your eyes down the entire time you're reloading. With a rifle, it's much more difficult. It's a little bit larger magazine, a little bit heavier, a little harder to work around and do a one-handed and make that feel with your index finger. So you still want to keep your eyes down range as best as possible. At the same time, once we were done shooting, you notice that I kept the rifle still pointing down range. I lowered it a little bit to be able to get to that low ready and just kind of observe and make sure the target was down and the area was safe. Then I went ahead and relaxed. And overall, I thought that went pretty smooth. I did struggle a little bit on that second reload. You could see that. And that's something that I need to work on. I thought it went well, but when you look at the actual timing and the score, you're looking at about 8 seconds again. And so I was about equal on the rifle as I was on the pistol. Either way, it puts me at that sort of between an intermediate and an advanced on the rifle. The rifle times are a little bit different. And So it's a little surprising that I was kind of the same speed on both of those. One thing I'll tell you about the shooting that I'm doing here at OVR, I'm not really doing much in the way of editing. When I say much, of course, I am editing out me moving around and things like that. But when it comes to the shooting, what you see on the targets as far as the red dots, that's what you're getting. Those red dots are about 1.2 millimeters. So they're significantly smaller than even a 9 millimeter round. So your accuracy has to really be better.